The topic for today's discussion is on meaning and scope of anthropology. First, we have meaning of anthropology. The word anthropology has been derived from two Greek words, anthropos, man, and logos, study or science. Anthropology is, thus, the science of man. Anthropologists are interested in all aspects of the human species and human behavior, in all places and at all times, from the origin and evolution of the species through its prehistoric civilizations down to the present situation. Unlike many other subjects like physiology, psychology, pathology, economics, sociology, etc., which confines to one aspect only, anthropology studies various aspects of man, and anthropologists focus his attention on man in groups and study the total society consisting of different races or people of the world, both past and present. Anthropology is both a biological and a social science. It deals on the one hand with man as a member of the animal kingdom, and on the other with man's behavior as a member of society. Both the structural evolution of mankind and the growth of civilization are studied from the earliest times, for which any record survives to the present. Similarly, in his concern with the contemporary human groups and civilizations, the anthropologists place particular emphasis on comparative studies. Scope of anthropology. Anthropology has two main branches, physical anthropology, cultural anthropology. Physical anthropology, it deals mainly with human biology, human evolution, human variation, human genetics. Human biology. The physical anthropologist studies human biology as he is interested in Homo sapiens alone. He studies man out of the vast range of creatures that claim the attention of the general biologists. Therefore, there is close relationship between the physical anthropology and the study of other living beings. The physical anthropologist tells about the man's place in the animal kingdom by making a comparative study on the different groups of man and his near relations, apes, monkeys, etc., whom we call primates. Next, human evolution. Another aspect of physical anthropology is to deal with human evolution. Like other creatures, man is also a living organism. It is difficult to explain under what circumstances life had appeared on Earth. But from the geological and paleontological evidences, it has been known that the first living organism that had appeared on Earth consisted of one cell only, which is known as a unicellular organism or amoeba. In course of time, this simple homogeneous organism, through the process of changes, attained the heterogeneous form of various stages. Ultimately, a complex form of animal called man had emerged. All living forms of humanity today belong to the single genus and species Homo sapiens. Man is said to have emerged during the Quaternary epoch of Cenozoic era. As time elapsed, varieties of man had evolved from the date of his origin. Next, we have human variation. The physical anthropologist, after having studied the origin, development, and place of evolution of man, focuses his attention on the study of the different varieties of man. Outwardly, though all men appear different, they have some common characteristics and belong to the species Homo sapiens. However, it is generally found that the common hereditary features which one group of people exhibits do not resemble those of other groups in various ways. Each of these groups is designated as race. Here we have first one is Caucasoid group, second one is Mongoloid group, third one is Negroid group. Next is human genetics. The methodology of physical anthropology has now been changed. The days of descriptive stage are gone and the analytical stage has taken its place. The classical physical anthropology was mainly interested in the classification and not in the interpretation. In recent times, however, the attention of physical anthropologists has been diverted to genetics, a branch of biology which deals with descent, variation, and heredity. They now study the blood types, differences in musculature, etc. They also study the group differences in times of sexual maturation, in growth rates, and various disease immunities. Next, we have other studies of physical anthropology. First one is demography. Another aspect of study of physical anthropology is demography, which is directly related to fertility and mortality. There are various factors, including hereditary and environment, that influence fertility and mortality. These are studied by the physical anthropologists. Next, pedagogical anthropology. There is another subject called pedagogical anthropology, which is directly concerned with education. In various educational fields, pedagogical studies are utilized by many advanced countries. On the whole, the physical anthropology is highly a specialized branch of anthropology. Next, we have cultural anthropology. There are almost as many definitions of culture as there are scholars. In order to understand culture, one must know the steps by which mankind has transformed itself from an instinct-dominated anthropoid into a culturally adaptive human being. Cultural anthropology deals with learned behavior characteristics in past, present, and future human societies. The main fields of studies under cultural anthropology include prehistoric archaeology, ethnology, and ethnolinguistics. Prehistoric archaeology. It is now a specialized branch of cultural anthropology. The prehistorians, with their pick and shovel, have been contributing much to get the first-hand knowledge about the extinct people and their cultures and the past phases of living people. They enlighten us with how the prehistoric people cope with the natural setting by making tools and implements, weapons and other necessary equipments in order to serve their biological and psychological needs, such as food, clothing, art, etc. Prehistoric archaeology has also been helpful in finding out the sequence of culture and dating the past by adopting the various methods such as stratigraphy, radiocarbon methods, etc. There is another scientific discipline called paleontology. which is closely associated with prehistory and is helpful in studying the extinct races from their fossilized forms. It tells us how the modern races have evolved from extinct fossil races. Technology, which is the study of the techniques of making material objects such as utensils, clothes, houses, canoes, etc., is an important aspect of culture of the past, and this is being studied with the help of prehistoric archaeology. Next, we have ethnology. Ethnology is another field of study under cultural anthropology. It makes its appearance as a recognized branch in about 1840, and it developed well during the next 100 years. It makes a comparative study of the cultures of the world and emphasizes the theory of culture. Ethnologic studies are essential for a cultural anthropologist to know the links between the different cultures and the principles guiding the socio-cultural systems. As a matter of fact, ethnology interprets the facts or data collected through ethnographic studies, classifies them, and formulates principles with regard to the nature of human behavior and the evolution and functioning of culture. Ethnology includes in its fold economic anthropology, social anthropology, religion, art, musicology, and recreation, folklore, etc. First, we have economic anthropology. The anthropology studies under economic anthropology the different means of subsistence of man, such as different features of production, distribution, and consumption of material goods and their relationships with other aspects of the socio-cultural complex. Thus, the anthropology studies what man produces, how he produces, what and how he consumes, and what and how he distributes or exchanges. He also analyzes how far the economic factors are responsible to the growth of socio-cultural system of a people. Next is social anthropology. Man is a gregarious animal and lives in a society, so he has to adapt to the social environment and learns to live in social cohesion. A man is born in a family, the smallest unit of a society, and he is socialized through it. As a society is a web of social relationships, a man is tied to the society with various strings of social relationships. He is both a member of different kinship groups such as the family, the lineage, the clan, the phratry, the moiety, etc., as well as a member of various non-kin groups or associations with boys' club, secret society, village council, etc. Man is also involved in social institutions such as marriage, government, law, etc. So, in adjusting with social environment and to keep the society in continuity, one has to abide by the various laws and customs formulated by the society. Culture exists to make the society survive, but without the existence of society, culture has no entity. Next is religion. It is a psychic reaction and adjustment of man to the supernatural world. Man could not explain why the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, fire, water, and others exist, etc. Men also did not know what causes storm and thunder, earthquake and volcano, drought and floods, life and death, and also question why men suffer from diseases. His curiosity about many natural phenomena make him think and believe that there were some supernatural powers in the background by the action of which these phenomena had come into being. Man believed that of these supernatural powers, some were benevolent and some harmful, and so he performed some magical religious rituals in order to propitiate those powers. These rituals were generally performed by specialists called shamans, who were religious practitioners. The shaman deals with spirits and has the power either to cure or to do harm. The priest worships gods for the welfare of man and acts as an intermediary between gods and man. Thus, the anthropologists study the varieties of rituals connected with different beliefs and practices found among different groups of people living in different parts of the world. Art, musicology, recreation. By adapting to the natural, social, and supernatural environments in order to satisfy his biological, social, and spiritual needs, man wants to undertake such other activities as would give him some satisfaction and relaxation. That is why man took to art and recreation, such as songs and dances, folk tales, and various other intellectual pursuits. Next is folklore. Folklore may be treated as one of the branches of cultural anthropology, though it has also been treated as a separate discipline. It is a science which deals with the survivals of archaic beliefs and customs in civilized peoples. It not only embraces everything relating to ancient observances and customs, notions, beliefs, traditions, superstitions, and prejudices of the common people, but also folk songs, legends, myths, folk music, and folk dance, as well as folk drama, belong to the sphere of folklore. Next, ethno-linguistics. It is the study of human speech, both dead and living languages and dialects of the different groups of people of the world. By studying this, anthropology tries to find out the origin and development of the languages and their interrelationships, and thus makes the classification. Other specialities of cultural anthropology include ethnoecology, which is a special subfield of anthropological study that deals with adaptation of human beings to their total environment. Urban anthropology, where the urban anthropologists are trying to bring the unique attributes of anthropology to the study of urban cultures in contemporary cities. Political anthropology, which is the study of primitive and the colonial system of politics. Applied anthropology and action anthropology, which deals with various applications of anthropology. Some of its applications are anthropometry, or the science of measuring the different limbs of the body, which is an inevitable part of physical anthropology. and with its help, various measurements of the limbs of the body are taken so as to know the proportions of the limbs. With this knowledge, the physical anthropologists can advise in respect of seating arrangements in aeroplanes, railways, classrooms, offices, etc. Physical anthropology is also useful in detecting criminals. With the knowledge of foot and hand prints, it becomes easier to detect criminals as the types of foot and hand prints are never changed during a man's lifetime. Similarly, analysis of hair texture and blood groups also help in detecting criminals. The services of the cultural anthropologists are useful for planning development programs, for successful implementation of prohibition, family planning, adult education, and various other development programs. Physical and cultural anthropologies also help to resolve the problems of casteism, communalism, racialism, etc. Another applied anthropology is action anthropology. The term has been coined by Saul Talks. According to him, an action anthropologist studies the processes of change in the society and helps the people study the adverse effects of change and guide planning in such a way that people do better in the process of change. To sum up, looking at the vast scope and nature of anthropology, one can conclude that the discipline is not an idler's pursuit, nor is it a study of queer customs of the savages, or digging for the remains left by the prehistoric people, as was commonly misunderstood. Perhaps it is a well-defined science which tells us about the various aspects of the life of man, physical and cultural, from the time of his origin till the present day. It is becoming lovelier day by day.